On your picture, me happy hashtag. Girl, make me carry you go a Ochi. Hashtag. Create chill out where the coast be. Hashtag. Baby, you deserve a trophy. Hashtag. Your good body got me vote for. Me love the way you bubble in the slow-mo. Let's make a video, get the GoPro, baby. Up and down like a yo-yo. Hola cariño, te amo.
Welcome everybody, as usual, to Breads and Ava's channel. We are here doing something that is very interesting. It's a long time I say I don't like a twist to something, but I promised you I'm going to do it tonight, or start the process. We're going to make the dough for the vegetarian pizza. Well, so we already outlined earlier. Remember I told you must come back and watch this video because it's something that you need to see. We have 1 cup of water. Remember I bought my measuring equipment, so this is the 1 cup, and I'm using warm water. Sometimes you can use cold water, but the cold water is when you're going to use it for the same day. Warm water, you put it down for a little while, let it set, put it in the fridge, use it next day. So I bought the yeast. The yeast pack was very hard before I cut it, so when I cut and the air got into it, it now became quite soft. I'm kind of freestyling it for a bit, even though I have the measuring equipment. So let's say quarter, half, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and I'm going to use, oh, leave me blind. Okay, sugar is in. It's the same thing, and just mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. That's one of the reasons too why you use a warm water, because when you use a warm water it mixes up the sugar quicker than if you use regular room temperature water, or if you use cold water. So remember, this is my first time trying the homemade pizza, so bear with me. A little bit more to go. Just about there. Yes. Alright. Then we added my yeast. Now everybody, normally when you add the yeast, it must foam on top for it to be accurate. When you add your yeast, you give it at least 10 to 15 minutes to ensure that it is set correctly. The yeast is in. Yes, it's that foam already. Don't know if you're seeing it. So this is foaming to the side there, foaming to the side there. And if you look, see it dissolving. So I'm going to leave this for about 10 to 15 minutes, allow it to dissolve properly and completely, and then we'll go back on it again. After we're done with the yeast section, then we're going to add the ingredients with the flour and everything else that we need to add. Stick and stay. Alright, yeast is ready. I'm super excited. So this is how you know that the yeast is correct. pour out in your container. And it also has a funny smell, so if you get the funny smell, don't be worried, it's okay. Right, you add your oil. I'll add water to it. So you add your 1/4 teaspoon oil mixture. And I'm sticking to my measuring equipment. So I'm using 3. Or you pour and mix at the same time. And 1 more. Well, if you think you need more based on, because you don't want it too runny. So this seems like it's getting to the texture that it should be. Here lies the problem, but I'll fix that soon. I'm gonna add a little bit more warm water to it. To get it out in a bit. Now it starts smelling nice. Alright. I might not need any water. Well, this looks small. I must say Uncle Bread's eat enough. Right, babe? No? You disagree?
That's what my taste say.
So make it not tasty. Alright. So if you guys noticed, I didn't really put any salt in here because I'm gonna make the base from scratch, which is the sauce from scratch. So I was saying I will put the salt, enough salt there, and I think this needs a little bit more water though. A little bit more flour. So I'm just going to add a touch in my hand. And on second thought, I think I'm going to add the salt here. Not a lot though. So just enough to give it a little extra taste. You continue kneading it in. It's really soft right now. And remember, you don't have to use the measurement that I used. You can use as much as you want to accommodate for the amount of persons you're cooking for. They say the best way to test this is to break off a piece and then stretch it. If it stretches and sticks to your finger like this, most time you don't want that. So there and then I have to add a little bit more flour. So I think I'd use 3 so I probably would use 3.5. All right, it's always lovely to try new things at home when you have the time. This is extremely soft to the touch. Right, it's sticking a little bit, but I think that I'm fine with this. I'm gonna separate it in two, and it's super warm, so you know that the yeast is working with this. All right, so I'm done with my flour, and you notice it's supposed to push back up at you. I'm gonna separate it into two pieces and put it into a particular container. I'm making a base. It have a flat bottom. Oh, shooty, shooty, shooty. I didn't do something. But regularly, whatever content you're putting it in, you grease it so it doesn't stick. I did not. Should I? You know what? Let's add a little flour in there. Make sure it doesn't stick. Yeah. Rest it in there. Let me see. Yeah. So once again, everybody, if you're using a glass container to put it in, then you just sprinkle some oil or spray it. If you're using what I'm using, then you can just add some butter, some flour in there. When you're done with it, you cover it totally with a plastic wrap. I did not get a plastic wrap today, so I'm substituting plastic bag. So I'm covering completely, and then you're leaving it to rest, as they say. Covering. And leaving it to rest. So that's the finished product for the dough. So once again, we will be listing the ingredients below, but I used 3 cups of flour, well 3.5 basically, a cup and a half of water, warm water. Then I had a teaspoon and a half of yeast, and 2 tubs of salt, and a teaspoon of oil. We can use vegetable oil, olive oil, extra virgin oil, cold pressed oil, whichever one you want to use. And those are basically what I included to make the dough. You knead to your comfort level, which is soft. Some people knead it until it's sticky, so quite sticky on the hand, but when you're stretching it, it's not supposed to break. And then some people knead it to where it's comfortable and dry, not sticking on the hands. I don't want it to be sticking on the hands. So once again, finished product, you cover with a wrap, and then you leave it for an hour unbothered. If you're using it for the same day, you leave it for at least an hour and a half, and then you continue with the process to make the pizza. If you are not using it the same day, which I'm not going to use, I'm going to put it in the fridge, give it at least 10 hours, 12 hours, and then I use it the following day. So check us out for the finished product. Alright guys, so thank you very much for joining us for part 2 of our homemade pizza dough. Please like, share, and subscribe if you've not already. Join in with the family. Tell a friend about us or anything that you wish. Check out part 3. It's coming up right behind this. Thank you.